does Purdue rank as far as coming off a long road trip with a 2-day prep with everything?
Yeah, I mean, Purdue was picked to win the league, and I've got the most likely player of the year with Braden Smith. He and Wagler, I think, are up there at the top, and everything starts with him. It's an old, experienced group that's played together for a long time, and Matt Painter is as good as anybody in this business. So, they absolutely handed it to us last year, embarrassed us on their home court, and we're going to have to be on point. This team plays hard. They're on the floor. They play together, and we can't give them anything easy. They're so disciplined in their approach on both ends of the floor. They run a lot of different coverages defensively, so early on we'll see how they're playing us and adjust accordingly. But offensively, they're so hard to shut down. They're third in the nation in offensive efficiency and one of the best defensive teams in the country as well. So, a team that's coming off a couple wins. Lawyer's really got it going right now. He's 29 and I think 19 in his last two games. Again, they spray it as well as anybody. They draw two to the ball. They're going to make it pay somewhere. So we have to have great activity level, and very important we get off to a good start.
What do you have to do defensively on Smith?
I mean, you just have to do the best job you can. He's one of the best three-level scorers in the country, and his ability to get the ball in the pocket. He's the best pocket passer I've ever seen, and his ability to make tough shots. Again, you can't get deflated. I know we talked about that with Francis in the last game. Give Rutgers, they made a lot of tough mid-range shots in that game. But I didn't think we got deflated. I never thought we did in that game the other night in New Jersey. So, for us, he's going to do some really things, things that, a lot of wow factor type plays. You can't get discouraged when he does that. You got to keep playing and keep trying to make things tough.
How much does Sam and Marcus embrace these type of matchups against?
Listen. It doesn't matter who our guys have played against. I think that they've embraced every challenge that we've had this season, and they just happen to be going against a guy that may be the National Player of the Year in this game tomorrow. So the approach hasn't changed. You still have to go out and do the little things, and try to have great hand activity. I thought Kale did a really good job in our game the other day against Rutgers. I thought he got some deflections that really got us going, and that's when we pulled away. Early in that game, we didn't have a deflection. I think the first 8 minutes of that game, we didn't have any. And then you look at the end of it, Sam had 9, Kale had 7, and overall we reached our deflection goal. And you have to try and do that against Purdue. It's hard. It's really hard to do because they're so disciplined. They're such good passers. But you have to do everything you can to contest everything, whether it's a shot or a pass. Yeah, it was important. It was important for Rink to have a game like that coming off the two, the Michigan game where obviously he didn't play, and then not being right in the Illinois game, and had a couple of struggles before that as well as far as putting the ball in the basket. So it was great to see him. Jamarcus made a really good play stringing out their ice coverage in the first one of the first possessions of the game where Rink hit a 3. It's important to see the ball go in the basket, and I thought his patience on the post was elite in that game against Rutgers. I think he hit 3. He got in the Kareem Award. He made 3 hook shots in a row. So to see Rink put it in the basket like that and to score a career high, I think he had a career high in shot attempts in that game as well. So, and listen, our guys did a really good job of finding him. And that's one thing this group has done, whether it's a switch where you can get the ball inside and play off a Rink. He's obviously a very good passer and facilitator. Purdue will run different coverages, so we have to be ready. They do a great job of double teaming the post coming from the baseline side, so we have to space the floor properly as well. Important in a game like this, you got to take care of the basketball. We've done a good job of that all year, but these guys do a great job with their deflections and getting them out in transition. If you give them easy baskets, you can't beat them.
With Rink, it seems like Purdue struggled this year with the bigs, are able to spread them out and they defend on the perimeter. And you got it going from inside the paint is the next step, especially in this matchup, getting him going again from the 3-point range.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I talked about this the other day. Whenever Rink shoots the ball, I think it's going in, and he's getting his legs back, and as a shooter, the game's a lot easier when you have your timing, when you have your legs, when you have your conditioning level where it needs to be, and Rink is getting back to that point. I know I talked about this a week ago, but he wasn't able really to get in here and do any extra work, extra conditioning, and he's been doing that every day since I think the day after the Illinois game, where he came back in for his really first extra session, and he hadn't done that much this year. One of it's protect the knee, but also after the illness, obviously wasn't able to come back in. So that's important. It's good for your psyche, I think, when you can come get that extra work and see it go in. And it's also great to see that hard work pay off. And when you put that extra time and the commitment level that our guys have, and to see that pay off, it's important as well. So yeah, Rink, I've talked about him a lot, obviously being a warrior and being the most disciplined guy, and he's ready to go off from three. I'm convinced of that.
What are the benefits just mentally of getting that win against Rutgers and kind of being able to mentally put the past 2 games?
Well, we really didn't think of it that way. We just went out, I thought, prepared well for that game, and those early ones are tricky. It was an 11 a.m. for our guys from body clock standpoint, and again, we got off to a solid start and then pulled away at the end of the half. I thought we were disciplined the whole game. We didn't have any panic. I thought our movement was outstanding. We did a good job playing within the flow, or we chart all of our flow offense. We were 1.54 points per possession when we played straight flow, and that's a great sign. We work on that all the time, and I thought our guys cut really well and did a good job getting to the next action, which is a big part of this system. We're going to have to be really good tomorrow. Again, this team is so disciplined in everything they do. It's such a credit to their coaching staff with the way that these guys go out